For this year, yeah, next Friday I start taking this Friday. No, but this Friday I start teaching for the same building. It's not the MBA room, it's no, but just okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's go out. Because we need to give the impression in Peru that we are working hard. So, tell me, what's your answer? What's your answer? So you have no view. You have no view about spot rate to go up or to go down. Your only view is not high, but low volatility. So what do you need to do to make a profit if you expect low volatility? Oh.
What you did before, maybe.
Yeah, but his answer is, say it again. So if his answer is exam Friday, his answer is selling a call or selling a put. What is his grade going to be? High or low?
High.
Low.
Because you used to put an end.
So it's not or, it's and. So you see, sometimes you think I did a good job.
Sell extra.
So it's not just or, no, it's and plus, and, okay? So of course then you need to do the opposite. You sell a put, and at the same moment you sell a call, okay? Where are you then? Here?
Above.
Yeah, but just give me a number, then it's much easier to... So because then, because you sell a call and you sell a put, okay, it's not exercised, so you can keep the 2 times the premium, okay, of 2 cents. So it means here you are at +4. So you see that his girlfriend was here the last 4 days. He is clearly reactivated. Okay. So then, I have the impression that it's right because he's confused. So you have 2 times 2 euro cents, so you have plus 4, okay? And then of course it's going down like this. Okay? So, the buying straddle, okay? So it's then the short point is over here, okay? Again, you make money. Sharp increase or sharp decrease, okay? If it's about selling a put and selling a call, so it means sell a straddle. So that's so if you sell a put and you sell a call, selling a straddle. Again, if it's limited increase or decrease, okay, you make a profit. If of course sharp increase or decrease, you lose money, okay? So it's going like that. And again, we can go on for hours if you want, okay? But it just, again, the message is from the moment that they are using difficult names, okay, just tell them, please split up the strategy in basic strategies, okay? Buying call, selling call, buying put, selling put, okay? It's always a combination of the 4 basic strategies. Okay? Questions about this? Okay, so let's go back to the list. So again, if you look to the, so at the end of the day or in the afternoon, we make a case where you're going to be able to put everything together to make sure that you understand the strategies and that everything is clear. Okay. So. If you go back to the slides, where are we? So again, basic definitions of options. So buying a call, selling or writing a call, just the opposite. Buying a put, okay, and selling a put, okay. Again, you don't need to worry. You don't need to worry about the option premium, okay? If, yes, you need to worry, but I mean, don't worry about how to calculate the option premium, okay? So, in the market, it's not because you use options that you need to be specialist in the underlying models to calculate the premium, okay? So don't worry about, it's very interesting, but it's more if you do advanced derivatives or something like that. So this is the basic. So if you want to know how much premium you are going to receive or that you need to pay, okay. Again, there are 2 parts in a premium. The first part is the so-called intrinsic value. Okay, it means the value of the call or the put in the assumption that you exercise immediately. Okay, so I told you. If you want, you can ask me. So you can ask. So T0. Okay. You can ask me. You can buy, for instance, a call on A. Let's take A, and the exercise price is €5. And now it's an American call. It means you can always exercise, okay? So again, so buying an American call on A with exercise price €5, it means you have the right to buy A for €5. And because it's an American call, you can buy it when you want, okay? So what is possible That is that the share price again, if that the share price today is already €8. Okay. So this means again, if you buy A on the stock exchange, you pay 8. Okay. But you ask me that I give to you the right to buy A for €5. And again, if you want, you can already exercise today. Of course, if today the stock price is €8 and you ask me, please give me the right to buy A for €5, I'm going to tell you, yes, no problem, but I'm going to ask you a premium, and the premium that I'm going to ask you is, of course, at least at least €3, okay? Because if I ask you only €2 for this coal, then you have, that's yours, you are specialized. If I ask you only, again, if for this coal, American coal, I ask you only a premium of €2, then you have an arbitrage opportunity. Because again, there is no risk. You buy for 2 and you exercise immediately. So the total cost to get A is €7, and immediately you can sell it for 8 because the stock price is 8. That's an arbitrage opportunity, and that is this is too simple. Okay, this is not possible. So you see, so at least not 3, but at least 3. Okay, so that's how it works. And this so that this is going to be at least €3. That's the first part. That's the so-called intrinsic value. Okay. But there is a second part, okay, because it's not that you get this for €3, you are going to pay more than 3. And why more? Because again, the call option, it starts today, okay, maybe the share price is going up in that period from 8 to 11, and then also your profit is going up. So you pay today at least 3, but a little bit more, and that little bit more, that's the so-called time and expectation value. Okay, so it's the probability that that your profit that even if today there is no profit. So again, if this is not 5 but €9, then of course you are not going to exercise immediately. Okay, then it means there is no intrinsic value. But does it mean that if there is no intrinsic value that you don't need to pay for the option? No, you need to pay because you need to pay for the time and expectation value. Because the duration of the coal is, for instance, 3 months. It is not because today this is this is 8, that maybe 2 weeks from now this is 11, and if it's 11, then you can make money with your coal. So you pay the intrinsic value, and you also pay something for the fact that during the rest of the maturity of the call option, that in that period maybe you can still make more money. Okay, so and that's the time and expectation value. So so in a premium there are 2 parts. Okay, intrinsic value and time and expectation value. Okay, but of course you need a model. Because that's the slide explaining which are the different parts in a premium. But of course you need to have a model to do the calculation, and the model that is normally used to calculate the option premium, or the basic model. Okay, and that's the model of Black and Scholes. Okay, so so pay attention, Black and Scholes, and not Black and Decker, because some people they think that Black and Scholes and Black and Decker is the same. Okay? So, but again, the message is, if you are interested in advanced derivatives, that's part of that story. Okay, but the message is that this slide, this one, this one, this one, this one, So just a big. So this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. It's nice to know, but not need to know for the exam. Okay. Clear? Okay. So you don't need to worry. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Nice to know, but not need to know. Okay. But maybe the next one is not nice to know, but need to know. Okay? So let's go. Is this clear? What is expected and what is not expected. So let's go back to the list. Okay. So foreign exchange options. Okay. So that was what we did before the coffee. Okay. What's now? So if we summarize the story so far, so if we summarize this, so this is T0, okay, and for instance, so T0, and at T1 we need $1 because we need to pay a supplier, okay? And again, we are worrying about, we are at T0 and we are worrying about the cost of the dollar at T1, okay? So, you are the treasurer. So, the first, so you are considering different strategies. Risk, financial risk strategies, okay? For the dollar. So, the first strategy is, so you are worrying about the cost of your dollar at T1. So you have financial risk strategies, hedge strategies, okay. So the first strategy is, that's a very popular one, especially for students. So the first strategy is, do nothing, okay? So it means you don't hedge, okay? No hedge, wait and see, okay? So that's not a risk strategy because again you don't hedge, okay? So do nothing. It means you don't hedge. You just wait for the to see what's coming, okay? So if you again if you do nothing. So if you do nothing at T0, the cost of the dollar at T1 is going to be the, so if you at T0, if you don't hedge the dollar at T1, the cost of the dollar at T1 is going to be the spot, so it's going to be the spot rate, of the dollar at T1. Okay? Again, it means big surprise because at T0 you don't know what's going to happen at T1. So if you don't, if you do nothing, again it means that the cost of the dollar at T1 is going to be the spot rate of the dollar at T1. Okay? So you are at full risk. B. Let's maybe first go to the third instrument mentioned on the slide, the forward. Or the currency, because forward, here, of course, here it's about currency forward. Tell me, if you use at T0, again you decide to hedge and you use currency forwards, the cost of the dollar at T1 is the, yeah, yes,
T0. T0. Forward rate at T0.
forward rate at T1, forward rate at T0, T0, because again, here I'm going to buy the currency forwards, okay, and it means I take the obligation to buy the dollar at T1 at the rate fixed at T0, but in a currency forward, the rate that we fix is always the forward rate, but the forward rate at T0, okay? So the cost of the dollar at T, that you are going to pay for the dollar at T1 is the forward currency rate, the forward currency rate at T0, okay? Because otherwise, if we wait until T1, there is uncertainty. No, we want certainty, okay? So the forward rate at, this is clear, okay? So remember, if you buy, because if you need the dollar, I need to buy a currency forward. So remember, if you buy a currency forward, no cost, but no cost, but also no flexibility, okay? Remember, if you don't like the fact that you don't have flexibility, and you want flexibility, how are you going to do that? Strategy C. So, yes, and tell me. Again, the story here is that you need $1 because you need to pay $1 to a supplier. Okay, so if you want to hedge that with, so you buy a call option. Okay, so you buy a call option. On $1, okay. And this is just an, I just take here as exercise price, here, let's take 97 euro cents, okay? Why, you see it in a minute. So 97 euro cents, that's the exercise price. But remember, if you buy a call option, you need to pay a premium. Okay? So you pay a premium, and let's say, okay, let's take 5 euro cents. Again, it's you need to accept this. This is my magic calculation of the moment. Okay, 5 euro cents. Okay? So remember, yes. Tell me. So to show that the story so far is completely under control. Tell me, if you can answer this question, then you are not just a specialist, but a super specialist. So what is, if you buy at T0 a call option on $1, exercise price 97 euro cents, okay? And the option premium is 5 euro cents. Then, what is the cost of the dollar at T1? What is the so what is the grade that I need to give him? His answer is, what is the cost of the dollar at T1? Your answer is 1.02.
But the premium is 0.05 euros, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And the exercise price is 0.05.
Yeah, so exercise price is 97 and the premium is 0.05.
It depends what is the price.
And his answer is, then the cost of the dollar at T1 is 1.02. Yeah, 1.02. Yeah, what he is doing is 97 plus 0.5, okay?
And then
0.05.
then if you have also to take into consideration.
Only 2
Sorry?
cents, no? Only 2 cents. $1.
No, here the story is, what is the I need the dollar, okay? What is the cost of the dollar, okay? I'm not asking about I'm not asking about the result of the call, no? I ask what's the if I hedge
5 cents.
if I hedge at T0 with buying a call with that exercise price and that premium, what's going to be the cost of the dollar, okay? Because I need the dollar at T1, what's going to be the cost of the dollar?
The
2
premium.
or 5.
No, the total cost. So the total cost, here again, if you buy, let's maybe
1.08.
1.08.
Yeah, because if you're saying 0.97, you're 0.03 plus 0.05 that you're going to pay in any case.
So
I think 0.99.
0.99.
Yeah. No. If the price is equal $1 at T1, right?
So what is the cost of the dollar? Again, at T0, you buy a call,
It should be less than
okay,
1.2.
with exercise price 97, and again the option premium that you pay is 5 euro cents. Okay? Now at T1, I buy $1, okay, because I need it. Okay. Again, I need to buy $1. And the question is, what is the cost of the dollar?
Maybe it can be less than or equal to 1.02. Less or equal to.
So what is the cost of the dollar? Okay, knowing that I have this call option. Okay, so let's, for instance, let's say that the spot. So what is the cost of the dollar? Let's say that the spot rate. If the spot rate at T1 is, for instance, $1 is 1.04 euro. Okay? Again, if you, what you can do is, you just buy the dollar at the exchange and then you pay 1.04. But is that clever to do if you decided at T0 to hedge? No, then of course you exercise the call, and if you exercise the call, what's then the total cost for the dollar? So then, because then you pay not the 1.04, but you pay the exercise price, so you then the dollar is 97, that's the exercise, plus the premium that you paid for the call, so you have 1.02. But what's the problem? Because he gave the impression that it's always going to be 1.02. Okay? But if the spot rate of the dollar is, for instance, only 40 euro cents, if the dollar is 40 euro cents, then you don't exercise the call, okay? Of course, you need the dollar, then you need to buy the dollar at the exchange. So what's then the cost of the dollar? 45, because you buy the dollar at the spot rate, but you pay the premium. So 45, okay? You see the point? So in other words, what's the correct answer? So it's not that you can say the cost is going to be so much. No, you never pay more than the 1.02. Okay, because from the moment that the spot rate is more than the exercise price, you exercise. Okay, and you need to add then the premium. So you never pay. The maximum that you pay for the dollar is 1.02 euro. Again, it is the exercise price plus the spot the premium. And tell me, the minimum, it can never be less than, because in the assumption that the spot rate is $1 is 0 euro, okay, you still need to pay the premium. Okay, so the minimum is the that you pay for the dollar. It means this is in theory, of course, this can be 0. $1 is 0 euro plus the premium. Okay, so this is really the minimum. Okay, so never less than 5 euro cents. Okay, is this clear? So it's so with an option, it's not one specific price, okay? It is a range. Never more than, never less than, okay? So and this is the maximum, to be clear, it's the exercise price plus the option premium, and the minimum, it's the option premium, okay? You still agree? Okay? You agree?
With $1,
Sorry?
you say maximum is $1 equal to 1 point.
Yeah, 1.02, and that's coming from the exercise price, 97, plus the premium. Okay. Everything still under control? So let's maybe for this moment, let's say that the forward rate here at T0, just to be clear, so the forward rate, so again, if the forward rate at T0 is 96.20, okay, again, you always, so that's the meaning of no flexibility. If you buy a currency forward, you always pay the forward currency rate at T0. Okay? Again, the assumption is that at T0 that forward rate is 96.20. If you buy a call option, again, you never pay more than the exercise price plus the option premium. But again, that's the flexibility. If the value is going down, you pay less, okay? And in theory, if the value is going down to 0, you the only thing that you pay is the option premium, okay? So this is the range. If it's about a call option, okay? Is clear? But next, because again this is so this, so if you buy a coal, this is full flexibility, but again, you pay, there's a cost, okay? So, what you ask now to the bank is, I would like to have flexibility, but at a lower cost. So I don't like to pay the 5 euro cents. Okay, so please find me something so that I pay less, but I still want flexibility. Okay. So what is the bank offering you? Maybe. Yeah. The bank is offering you to buy, or maybe let's do it like this, just if you understand this, everything is under control. Okay? So what's the bank going to offer you? That is so the bank is going to offer you so that at T1, what is the cost of $1? But here the premium excluded in this story. So here you have to pay for $1. So to pay for $1, but again, in this story, premium excluded. Okay? And here you have the spot rate of the dollar at T1. Okay? So the spot rate of the dollar at T1. And this is then what you need to pay for the dollar. But the premium not yet included. So and what's the message of the bank? That is, if the spot rate of the dollar at T1 is more than 97 euro cents, how much do you pay? 97. But again, premium excluded. Okay? So if it's more, so you see, so if the spot rate is more than 97, you pay 97. But if the spot rate is less than 95.50, you pay 95.50, premium excluded, okay? And if it's between 95.50 and 79, okay, you pay just that rate. You see the point? So what is the cost of $1 at T1? But again, the premium not included, excluded. That is, if at T1 the spot rate of the dollar is more than 97 euro cents, you pay 97. Okay? You never pay more than 97. Again, premium excluded. But if the dollar rate is going down, you pay less. But from the moment that the dollar rate is under 95.50, you pay 95.50. You see the point? So never more than 97, but also never less than 95.50. Okay? So tell me, That's the minimum that you pay. So it means if the spot rate, for instance, is $1 is 90 euro cents, if you decided at T0 to make that agreement with your bank, the bank is going to tell you, yes, the dollar is only 90 euro cents, but we agreed that you pay at least for the dollar 95.50.
Okay, but how will you calculate it? Where does it come from? This,
I'm the bank. I'm doing the magic calculations. Okay? So my question is, so that's the answer to your question. So again, if the bank is proposing you this type of instrument, again, from the moment that the dollar is more than 97 at T1, you pay not more than 97, premium excluded. But if it's going down, you pay less. That's flexibility. Okay. But if it's going under 95.50, you must still pay 95.50. So it means the flexibility stops, okay, at a certain point. If you buy a call option, remember, if the dollar rate is only 80 euro cents, you don't use your call option, and what are you going to pay? The 80, the spot rate plus the option premium, okay? So, and if it's going down to 0, you only pay the 5 euro. So it's full flexibility. If it goes down, you pay always less. But in this story, if it's going up, again, you never pay more than 97. If it's going down, you have flexibility, you pay less. But from the moment that it's going under the 95.50, the flexibility stops, okay? You pay then 95.50, okay? No further decrease in what you need to pay for the dollar. That's the meaning of this instrument. So my question to you is, if you understand what's happening, which two, remember the story, at the end of the day, everything is an option, okay? So and I told you before, what the bankers are doing, they are just combining. So tell me, if this is our agreement, what in fact do we combine? And you are the treasurer, I'm the bank, okay? So here the same, you are the treasurer and you buy the call, so the banker is selling the call, okay? So this is this is the story for the treasurer. So again, if you have the promise from the bank that you never pay at T1, that you never pay more than 97 euro cents, okay, again, premium excluded for the dollar, but that you pay at least 95.50 for the dollar, again, what do we combine? So this part of the story is, don't make it too difficult, okay? So this part of the story is, not this. That again, you never pay more than 97 euro cents, premium excluded. That part of the story is, sorry? No, because the forward is, this part of the story is, again, from the moment that it's more than 97, you only pay 97. Yeah, exercise price? Exercise price is? 97. So, in other words, this part of the story, it is again? It's again C, okay? So you buy a call option on $1 with an exercise price 97, and again, then of course the premium is also 5 euro cents, okay? So the upper part, of the instrument, it's the same as C, okay? But remember, just C was too expensive for the treasurer. Okay? He likes to have flexibility, but a lower price. So, how do you go from C to this agreement? Again, the first part of D is the same as C. But now, you need to add something to that call option to reduce the price. But if you reduce the price, you reduce flexibility. So, in addition to buying a call, exercise price 97, that's the option premium. You again, and you are the treasurer. I'm the banker, you are the treasurer. So what do you need to add? So that, because with this, you cover this part of the story. Going up, and you are hedged at 97. But now, you need to add something so that if it goes down, that we have flexibility, but that the flexibility ends at the level of 95.50. Tell me, what do you need to add here? And again, you are the treasurer, I am the banker.
Is obligation.
Sell a put. So you gave the first part, so then the second part.
I'm thinking of forward.
No, because then there is no flexibility. And there is still some flexibility left.
It has to be sell, but
He's buying his selling.
it's buying also.
What was the,
No,
We're buying it.
it is sell.
so which is the second part?
Sell it.
And which is the exercise price?
0.955.
Exercise price.
So that's for, so the second part, because what does it mean? It means that you have if the dollar rate is going down, okay, you must buy, because normally if it goes down, you prefer to buy it on the exchange. But no choice, because in our agreement we mentioned that the treasurer has the obligation to buy it from the bank, okay, for 95.50. Having the obligation to buy, it is selling a put, okay? So the second part of the story is you sell a put, okay?
Both way he has to exercise.
So you sell a put on $1. The option premium is, for instance, again I calculated for you, for instance 3 euro cents, okay? And the exercise price in that story is not, again, don't try, again, the exercise prices, it's just coming from me, okay? So don't worry about how does he, no, it's just coming from heaven, okay? So tell me, if you buy a call option on $1 with this exercise price, and you sell a put with that exercise price and this premium, okay? Tell me, because again, why do you want to go from C to D? Because you like flexibility, but you don't like the cost of C. And that's the reason why you go to D, so that you can keep some flexibility, but at a lower cost, okay? So if you can answer this question, everything is again under control. So what is the cost of the dollar at T1? Again, if you decide to do this strategy at D, so of course it's again about options, it's flexibility, so it's a range. So it's going to be again a maximum and a minimum, okay? So so in this story, the maximum that you pay is,
Plus,
so,
1.02.
of course, because this part of the story is the same as C, the maximum is the same. So $1. Oh, no. Oh. You try to confuse me. Is this the right, what was your answer again? 1.02. Is that the right answer? No? How much?
0.97, I think.
So tell me, how much is the right answer?
97 cents.
0.9985.
No, it's 97.
That's too complicated. What's the right answer?
9.7 plus premium.
Yeah, but just give me a number, otherwise
Because it's
I'm confused.
excluded, it should be
1.08.
1.08, no?
No, 1.05.
No?
No.
No, again, it's again the cost of the dollar, okay? Not just the result of the option, no? I need the dollar, I have a strategy, so what's going to be the cost of the dollar, okay? Given,
1.05.
97 plus operating premium.
1.01.
yeah, but tell me again, given all those information, you need to put on everything a number, not just, because if he is giving that, that's the problem. He was not just putting plus the option premium, but that's why it was not correct.
1.01.
No?
It's 0.
What's the max? So this is really for the big specialists. So so again, what is D? You are the treasurer. You buy a call option, and this is the premium of the call option. But again, at the same time, it's not his or. It's not this or that. No. At T0, you do this and you do that. Okay. You do both of them. Okay. And that's the premium for selling the put. So what is the maximum? The maximum that you pay for the dollar, not 1.02, but
1.0.
1. No.
5.
No, think again, big mistake. Remember, go back.
1 euro. 1 euro.
No. Go back to this. So this is a nice one. Remember, if you buy options, you have the right, and
Pay premium.
if you sell options, you have an obligation, and you
Receive.
remember. Buying is the right, and paying a premium, selling is having an obligation, and receiving a premium. If you remember that, what's then your final answer, my friend?
98.
98?
99.
Who was?
99.
99, okay? Because what is the maximum that you pay here? It is the exercise price of the call, okay? But again, you plus the option premium of the call, but you also receive the option premium of the put, minus, okay? So it means 97 plus the call premium, but, so this is at the net cost. So that's the reason why you are doing this strategy. Because if it's C, okay, you have flexibility, but you find that you pay too much. Now you have a little bit flexibility, but you lose flexibility, but you are compensated. You are compensated for the loss of flexibility because you pay not 5 euro cents, but the net cost is that you pay 2 euro cents. Because the 5, that's what you are paying for the call, but because at the same moment you are selling a put, you receive a premium of 3 euro cents. So the net cost of doing the two together, and again, you always do the two together, okay? So it's not that you can wait, no. You decide at T0 to do the two, okay? And it means that the net cost of the two is 2 euro cents. Okay? So conclusion, the maximum in this story is that clear to everyone? Is the 97 plus the difference between the premium of the coal and the premium of the put. Okay? And again, if you see the minimum is, so in theory possible that you just pay the premium, okay? But here, what's the minimum here?
2 cents. 2 cents.
What is the minimum here?
0.9750.
Oh, what's it again?
You have to exercise it also.
So,
The lower side is 0.
because again, it's not you who is going to decide, someone else, because the buyer of the put. And when is the buyer of the put going to exercise? From the moment that it's less than 95.50, okay? And then you need to pay 95.50. So tell me, what's the minimum?
0.9550 then plus 0.0.
And so the minimum, it is the exercise price, but now the exercise price of the put, okay? Plus the option premium of the call, minus the option premium of the put. So it is here 95.50, that's the exercise price of the put, plus the 2 euro cents, the net cost. So again, here you are always in a range between 97.50, again that's the exercise price of the put, plus the because I told you premium excluded, plus the price, so the 2 euro cents, and between 97.50 and 99, that's the 97 exercise price of the coal, plus also the 2 euro cents. So again, you pay less, but again the result is that if it goes down, at a certain moment it stops. And in C, if it goes down, you also go down with the cost of your dollar. Is this clear? Okay? Oh, in Peru they are all under the table now. Is this clear? So the final one, yes, of course, I still need to tell you what's the name of this, because what's the name if you do this? Because I told you, they just combine basic option strategies, but then they give another name to it, okay? So this is, if you buy a call and you sell a put, that is buying a range forward, okay? So you don't be confused about the four. It's not very good name. So don't confuse this with the four. But that's the name, okay? Don't blame it. But the range forward, okay? It's just based on two options, okay? Buying a call, selling a put, and buying a range forward. So if you cannot read it, please range forward. So buying a range forward, it's buying a call option and selling a put option. Of course, if you as treasurer, if you buy a range forward, the bank is selling a range forward, and selling a range forward, it means selling a call and buying a put. Okay, that's the bank. Okay. Okay? Still under control? Last one.
A lot of things to remember.
Yes, that's That's live, okay?
Crazy.
But don't worry too much because I told a big story in November and they don't remember it. So you just need to remember it for Friday. Huh? And then life starts again. Okay, so again you have the options, okay? You have forward range, between brackets, zero cost, you don't need to worry about that, okay? Because that's a little bit a strange combination. So forward, in fact it's better that you have foreign exchange options, okay, and then you have forward range, but okay, don't worry. So forward, it's just my currency forward, B, okay? And then we have a final one, the participating forward, okay? But we are not going to discuss the currency swap, okay? Because again, the currency swap, it's a little bit the same as yesterday. And what is in fact, okay, the reason why we are not going to do the currency swap, that is because if I have just a problem of $1 at T1, okay, then I need to solve my problem with a currency forward, okay? Well, when is there a currency swap coming in? If I tell you, okay, if I tell you I need $1 at T1, I need also $1 at T2, and I need also $1 at T3, okay? Then I'm going to make, if it's about forwards, I buy a currency forward for T1, I buy a currency forward for T2, and I buy a currency forward for T3, okay? And if you combine, it means you have a stream of currency forwards. You have the obligation to buy the dollar at T1, at the forward rate at T0. You have also the obligation to buy the dollar at T2. And you also have the obligation to buy the dollar at T3. So you have a stream of currency forwards. And what's another name for a stream of currency forwards? No? If it's a stream, did you? No? That's a swap. Remember again, no, but remember my interest swap, it was not just interest payments at the end of the period. No, it was at T1, at T2, at T3. So you have always a new interest payment at the end of each period. Okay. So if you do it not for interest payments but for dollar, if you have just one period, it's a currency forward. Okay, one currency forward. But if you have another dollar to buy at T2, you add another currency forward, but then for T2. And if you have another dollar to buy at T3, you buy a currency forward, okay, where you have the obligation to buy it at T3. So you add up, okay, a stream of currency forwards, and again, a stream of currency forwards, it's the same as a currency swap, okay? But again, because here we are just discussing that I need just $1 at the end of T1, I'm not going to use currency swaps, because currency swaps, it's for a stream of periods, okay? So, the final one, participating forward. If we keep the same numbers, then I go on this board. So, strategy E. Buy a participating forward, okay? So, if we look to the slides, can you read this? Yes and no. So, between brackets, if you remember B, if it's just a currency forward, buy a currency forward, again, it's B, you always pay, the assumption was that the forward rate was 96.20, so you always pay 96.20, okay? So, for instance, if the dollar at T1, if the dollar at T1 is €2, you pay 96.20, okay? But also, if the dollar is only, let's say, 40 euro cents, you pay 96.20, okay? You see the point? So you always pay, let's take 70. So if the spot rate at T1 is 2, you pay the forward rate. If the forward rate, if the spot rate at T1 is 70, you pay the forward rate. No flexibility, no cost. Okay? So you ask the bank, yes, but I would like to have flexibility. Okay? So same question, but now with a different instrument. And the bank is telling you, okay, let's have a look if I can offer you some flexibility. And what is the bank going to tell the clients? So what we are going to include in the contract is okay. So the first is the guaranteed rate. Okay. So so this is the guaranteed rate. So I buy a participating forward, and in the participating forward, the first part that is included is the guaranteed rate. Okay. As you can see on the slide. The second part is the so-called participation coefficient. 100%. Okay? So guaranteed rate is 98 euro cents. The participating coefficient, participation coefficient is 100. And then I still have the so-called central rate. And let's take as central rate, let's take uh, 80. Let's take 85 euro cents. Okay. Okay. So that, again, I'm the specialized banker, so the numbers are coming from me. Okay, so that don't worry. Just accept and sign the contract. Okay? And so the guaranteed rate is 98 euro. The participation coefficient is 100%, and the central rate is 85 euro cents. Remember, if you just buy a currency forward, okay, not a participating, you always pay 96.20. Okay? So, what are you going to pay? What are you going to pay if it's not a currency forward, but a participating forward? Okay? So, let's say that, for instance, that if the dollar is 2 euro at T1, so if the dollar is 2 euro, what are you going to pay for the dollar? You pay the guaranteed rate. Okay? So if the dollar is 2 euro, you pay the guaranteed rate, and the guaranteed rate is 98 euro cents. Okay? So you never pay more than the guaranteed rate. Okay? But again, it's also possible that the dollar is only 70 euro cents. Remember, if it's a currency forward, you don't worry about the spot rate at T1. It's always, you always pay at the forward rate. Okay? Here, if it's a participating forward, and again, the spot rate is 2 euro, you pay not the forward rate, no, you pay the guaranteed rate of the participating forward. Now, again, 98, okay? But if the spot rate is going down, for instance, to 70 euro cents, how much are you going to pay? Then we use that magic equation, okay? And what is the magic equation? That's the guaranteed rate minus so the guaranteed rate minus the participation coefficient, so that's 100%, so it's 1, okay, multiplied with the difference between the central rate, and the central rate here is 85 minus the spot rate, so the spot rate here is 70, okay, so conclusion, okay, so the participating coefficient, again, currency forward, always forward rate, okay? Here, if it's a participating forward, and the rate is going up, you never pay more than 98, okay? So you never pay more than the guaranteed rate, but again, your request to the bank was, please give me some flexibility, and the flexibility, if the dollar rate is going down, okay, you get some flexibility, and how much do you pay? You pay the guaranteed rate, but minus the difference between the central rate and the spot rate. Okay, so here 98 minus 0.15, you only pay 83, which is less than the forward rate. Okay, so this is the flexibility. You see? So this is an alternative, okay, for flexibility, where from the moment that again it goes down, okay, you pay less.
What is central rate?
Sorry?
What is central rate?
So yes, that's so because you where so the question now is where because if you buy a participating forward, again you receive flexibility from the bank, and again normally for flexibility you need to pay. Okay, where again do you get this flexibility for free, or where do you see or where do you pay the price for that flexibility? How do you pay here for the flexibility that you get from the bank? Where?
The difference between the price and what you pay.
See?
That's the difference between the price and what you pay.
Give me the number.
0.70 and 0.83.
Zero. No. Where do they include a price for the flexibility that they are offering you?
98 and 85?
And 98.
98 and 85?
98 and
85?
where do you see 85? No. Ah, yes. Okay. No. The answer is no. Where do you see where and how do you pay a price for the flexibility?
The 85 and the 70, for example.
No.
The bracket.
No, because you need to look to everything that is here, okay? So where do you see the price, or how much is the price that you pay for the flexibility
The 98 and 80.
compared to?
Central.
No,
Okay.
it's the guaranteed rate compared to the
Extension options.
no to the. It's the guaranteed rate compared to the, because again, alternative for this instrument is asking no flexibility, and if you don't ask flexibility, it's a straight currency forward. So it is you need to compare the guaranteed rate to the,
Non-guaranteed.
to the forward rate, because again, if it's a straight currency forward, remember, you always need to pay for the dollar 96.20. Okay, so the bank is always receiving 96.20 from you. Okay, but if you buy a participating forward, and if there is no flexibility, okay, because where is the flexibility coming in? So the flexibility is coming in from the moment that we are going to deduct something from the 98, from the guaranteed rate. And when are we going to deduct something from the 98? That is if the spot rate is under the central rate. You see? So from that moment on, we deduct the difference between the central rate and the spot rate. That's what we are going to deduct from the guaranteed rate. But if the spot rate is not under the 85, you pay 98. And if you pay 98, that's more than the forward rate. You see the point? So it means as long as the spot rate is not under the central rate, you pay the guaranteed rate, but the guaranteed rate is more than the forward rate. Okay, so then the bank is going to receive more for the dollar than if you just buy a straight currency forward. And that's the compensation for the bank. That is that if the dollar is not going down and there is no flexibility coming in the calculation of the dollar cost, you need to pay to the bank a dollar price which is more than if just the forward rate. You see the point? And so if you ask me, where is the central rate? Okay, again, that's all because if I put the central rate lower, so if I put here 60, if I put 60 here, okay, then the probability that the flexibility is going to be used by you, you are the treasurer. If the central rate is only 60, the probability that you are going to use the flexibility is that going up or going down. If the central rate is 60 euro cents, is then the probability, because this is the flexibility. Flexibility is we deduct something from the guaranteed rate. If you have a central rate that is 60 euro cents, is the probability that we use the flexibility, is that probability going up or going down? Going down. Because again, then you must have a spot rate under 0.60 before flexibility is going to work. Okay? And it's easier to go down to 70 than to under 60, you see? So if you have then a lower central rate, then of course the compensation for the bank, because again the 98 is more than the forward rate, okay? But of course, if you ask a calculation and the probability that we are going to use that flexibility is high, then of course the difference between the forward rate and the guaranteed rate is going to be bigger. If you ask me a central rate and that central rate is so low that the probability that the flexibility is useful for you is low, then of course I cannot add a lot to the forward rate to get my guaranteed rate. So then I will have a lower guaranteed rate. You see the trade-off, okay? So, and the central rate, it depends on how much are you willing to pay more than the forward rate if the flexibility is not working. You see the point? Okay? So it's on. So it's. But this is of course again a question of calculation of the premium, okay, and so on. But that's not so important. It's just that you know how it works. Okay? Is that a little bit clear? So again, conclusion of the whole story. So we have in fact, so again, if it's about, so if it's about the dollar or a currency at one specific moment, okay, and not the stream of dollars that you need, okay, so you have, or again, do nothing, so no hedge, or you have a hedge, but with no flex, you don't want to pay for it, so no flexibility, but also no cost, then it's always going to be, then you are hedged, but always at the forward rate, not more, not less. If you want full flexibility, then you go to options, okay, and of course, if you need a dollar, you buy a call, again, then it's not that you have a specific cost, you have a range. Not more than, but not less than the premium. But again, if you want then flexibility, but at a lower cost, there are two different instruments. Or you do a combination of buying a call and selling a put. It means that buying a range forward, okay? And then you have a max. You also have a range, but of course a smaller range than if you have full flexibility, okay? Because then you have, then you must pay a premium, but you also receive a premium. So the net cost of D is less than the cost of C. Okay? Another alternative for having flexibility, it's related to the forward, but then you are going to add flexibility to the forward. And how do you get flexibility? That is because, again, in the forward, if the rate is going down, you are always blocked at the same rate. But if you take the participating forward, then we deduct something, not from the forward rate, but from the guaranteed rate, okay, we are going to deduct a certain amount from the guaranteed rate from the moment that the spot rate is under the central rate, okay. Then we deduct something from the guaranteed rate, okay, but the guaranteed rate is more than the forward rate. And why is that guaranteed rate more than the forward rate? That is because that's the way how you pay for that flexibility in that instrument. It's not that at T0, if you buy a participating forward, you don't pay a separate premium at T0. No, the premium is included in the instrument, okay, in a way that as long as the flexibility is not working, okay, it's not useful for the buyer of the dollar, then you pay a higher amount than the forward rate for the dollar, and by paying that higher amount, you pay for the flexibility. Okay?
I have a question. What happens if the forward rate is greater than the guarantee rate?
Sorry, say it again.
What happens if the forward rate is greater than the guarantee rate?
Yeah, but that's impossible.
Yeah.
So that the message is So if you have a bank, if you have a bank offering you a guaranteed rate less than the forward rate, of course, then you must always do the participating forward, okay? So because again, you want flexible. So if the guaranteed rate is less than the forward rate, that's the same that if you want to buy from me shares, Philips, and buy, and I'm not asking you money for you, but I tell you, if you want to buy shares from me, here are the shares, and I pay you in addition another nice amount. Okay, you will be very surprised that if you buy shares from me, that I am paying you. Okay, and that's the same. Again, you buy flexibility from the bank. Okay, and it means that. Again, the price of the flexibility is that to get a guaranteed rate, that we add something to the forward rate. Okay, that's how we calculate the guaranteed rate. So a guaranteed rate that is less than the forward rate, it means that you ask the bank, please give me flexibility, and that the bank is paying you to give flexibility to you. Okay, that's not how it works. You see the point? So the guaranteed rate is always more than the forward rate of that moment, okay?
Another question. I've seen there we have used the formula to calculate the rate to pay. Does it mean we use the formula when the spot rate is less than the...
Yeah, so again, so that's a good one. So again, this you never pay more than this, okay? So this part of the equation is only coming in, okay, if this is less than the central rate. Okay? So this second part, it's always a minus, okay? So it's not possible. So it's not that if the spot rate is more than 95, that you have minus minus. No, no, no. We are never going to add. So the guaranteed rate is the maximum, okay? And we do it in this way from the moment that the spot rate is under, okay? So again, so you have, so the central rate is 85. So if the spot rate is more than 85, you pay always 98, okay? From the moment that the spot rate is under the 85, then we calculate it in this way, and then you pay less than the 98. But it's never possible that you pay more than the 98. So this equation is only the calculation for the dollar cost if the spot rate is under the 85. If it's not under the 85, it is just the 98. Clear? Other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Is that a question?
Yeah, are you hungry?
No other? Yes? Oh, yes, sir. He is not hungry.
Sorry. Taking you back to strategy D, where we buy the call option and
Yeah.
sell the puts. How come our minimum is
Yeah, I'm listening.
with the range?
So that's clear. So tell me.
Our minimum is 0.975.
Yeah.
If we look at our sell, when we sell our puts,
Huh?
we've got an exercise price of 0.955.
Yeah.
And an option of 0.03.
Hmm?
Don't we add this first? Why don't we add this first before we remove the option on the call, on buying the call option?
Yeah, but again, at T0 you do both, okay? So you buy a call and you sell a put.
Yes.
So it means that at T0, this is the amount that you pay, because this is buying a call, and this is the amount that you receive. So then at T0, the net cost
Yes, okay.
is 2 euro cents.
Oh, so we don't take them in isolation, all right?
No. It's all and that. So because again, so I split it up. But again, in the bank they are offering you just one package, and both options. Again, it's not or no. Again, you do both things at T0. Okay, but then of course, if you are in the situation where you are in this here, okay, and then at T1 you look to the call, again you paid 2 euro cents at T0. And then at T1, you are here with the spot rate. Again, if the spot rate is, let's say, 92 euro cents, you don't exercise the call. So, again, with the call, nothing is going to happen if it's 92. But the buyer of the put, you are the seller, the buyer of the put is going to exercise the right to sell the dollar at 95.50. So you must buy the dollar for 95.50, okay? That's the first part. But again, for the total instrument, you paid at T0 2 euro cents. So that's how you get the 97.50. Is that clear?
Yeah.
You're tired? Other questions? So again, lunchtime, and at 1:30 we make a case on this to make sure that everything is under control. Okay? Lunchtime in Peru now.